YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
Welcome everyone to the Hive Mind Nation channel. Elon Musk on New Year's Eve tweeted this out, that Neuralink will start high-volume production of brain-computer interface devices and move to a streamlined, almost entirely automated surgical procedure in 2026. Device threads will go through the dura without the need to remove it. This is a big deal. So there's going to be high-volume production of Neuralink's brain-computer interface. And no, do not think that this is just being produced for people out there who suffer from things like ALS or are unable to speak or are suffering from neurological disabilities likely brought on from the vaccine, that it's just going to be created to help them with these problems. Because remember, Elon Musk, as I've told everybody a million times, is openly on the record talking about how brain-computer interfaces, which is what Neuralink is, are going to be the future smartphones. Smartphones themselves will be obsolete, and brain-computer interfaces will replace them. So in a society, again, that relies heavily on phones, you can't go anywhere without seeing someone on their phone. Almost everywhere you go, you have to bring up a code on your phone to bring up a menu at a restaurant to get into a sports stadium. So you're going to need your phone, right, to survive in their society that they're building around us, which we're all a part of. You're going to need a phone, but if the phone goes obsolete, what do you think's going to happen? The whole system's going to shut down? No. You're going to be integrated into brain-computer interfaces. So mass production of this is moving forward in 2026, and people need to be aware because this is all about the collective consciousness. Elon Musk overly tweets and overly talks about his obsession with the collective consciousness. Now, what do people think a collective consciousness is? I mean, do you think that it just means everybody gets along with one another? It is a hive mind. It is oneness, a one consciousness collective. Here he is tweeting out other things. Because it consists of billions of bidirectional interactions per day, Twitter can be thought of as a collective cybernetic super intelligence. As he mentioned several years ago, it increasingly appears that humanity is a biological bootloader for digital superintelligence, as I've broken down many times, and all those videos are available on the website. What he's referring to as a bootloader is that they're going to put their software inside of your body. Okay, so you're going to be like the computer, but the computer doesn't run without the software. Their software that they're going to put inside of you, and then, of course, use that software to control you and mold you and create a collective consciousness. What else has he said? He said creating a neural lace is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines. It is increasingly likely that AI will superset the intelligence of any single human by the end of 2025 and maybe all by 2027 and 2028. And remember, when we see AI now in front of us, if you go to Grok, his AI, or you go to the Google AI or ChatGPT, okay, it's not very advanced. I mean, it says a lot of stupid things if you ask it questions. It stumbles on a lot of answers. It gets a lot of things wrong. This is to condition you into AI. So you're not fearful of AI yet, but the AI that DARPA has, the AI that's built and ready to go, is far, far advanced and far superior to what we're actually allowed to see. They just want you to play around with it, get used to it, get accustomed to it, so that when they roll it out, you're not intimidated by it, you don't reject it. Because otherwise, people would reject this. They're hearing on the outside about AI taking our jobs, AI killing off humanity. Then they play with ChatGPT and they're like, oh, AI is not going to replace us. AI is stupid. I asked it a question, it gave me the wrong answer. Right? That's all ploy. That's a mind control tactic that they're using. What else has he said? He said, if successful, X will evolve to be the collective consciousness of humanity, or more accurately, the human machine collective, okay? And this is, again, this is not about what you're about to see here, which is another story. Okay, this is the story. This is what they released you. This is to condition you. They put this stuff in the news to condition you into accepting this tech so there's no pushback. If they came out, again, they told you, hey, we just built this, it's going to murder you. It showed up at your door and killed your neighbor. The people would rise. The people would get pitchforks. The people would get all sorts of, the people would band together as a real one, with a real oneness. Everybody would say, hey, humanity first, machines and all this, the people who are actually dividing us, let's get rid of them. But no, they have to do it this way, right? So there's a story. Neuralink provides Austin man wings after ALS diagnosis. This is from a couple of weeks ago. As you've seen over the years, I've covered all of the characters, all of the people that they've shown us who have mental disabilities, who have things like ALS. And the hero, the savior of it all is the Neuralink, is the brain-computer interface. This is how it's being marketed to you. Remember when watching this clip, remember Bible verses about false Christs, false prophets. Okay, great signs and wonders, right? Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. In Revelation chapter 16, verse 14. For they are demonic spirits performing signs who go abroad to the kings of the whole world to assemble them for battle on the great day of God the Almighty. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan with all power and false signs and wonders. In Mark chapter 13, verse 22. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform signs and wonders to lead astray, again, if possible, the elect. Watch this story and make sure you come back afterwards because I want you to see how this is working on people. Because you hear this and I know how you're going to respond, right? Which is, again, one of the reasons that I'm trying to build new channels is to reach new people. Because I don't want to be in an echo chamber with just people who are awake. We want to pull people out of the matrix. We want to wake them up so they can understand what is going on here. Okay? There are people out there who think that this is wonderful. You probably don't know that because we're all sitting here and we're like, this is insane. No way people are going to be on board. But they will be because it all matters how it's marketed to them to get them to accept it in our society first. And then from there, of course, they're told that they're going to be left behind unless they augment with machine and they start getting these devices because it's making these people who are disabled, it's making them back to feeling human again. It's helping them live normal lives. And it's making regular people just as smart as computers, and they're not going to take their jobs from them, right? So here is the story again, another story that they're putting out there by design to get you to accept the Neuralink and not say, hey, this should be outlawed, this should be illegal, we shouldn't have this type of tech, this is demonic, this is sick, we don't need this in our world. Well, they got to get you accepted first, which is why they use these characters to come on here and tell you that they're being cured from all these diseases by this technology.
It's a disease that affects 30,000 Americans each year. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, destroys a patient's ability to control their muscles. It is devastating and has no known cure. But now, a tiny device is giving people hope, restoring their connection to the world and their families. KXAN's Eric Hendrickson spoke with a South Austin man who is only the 7th person in the world to use this technology, Neuralink.
It felt like I got wings and I was able to fly because ALS takes so much away from you and Neuralink gave something back to me.
Jake Schneider's life was upended after a muscle twitch in his arm.
I kind of put it off for 6 to 8 months because it really wasn't bothering me, but it was a constant twitch.
The father of a 2-year-old son went from doctor to doctor, learning in 2022 that he had ALS.
I had just built this house, like we moved in 3 months prior.
Symptoms developed slowly, weakness in his hands, legs growing unstable. Today, he uses an electric wheelchair to move around his home.
ALS is a neurodegenerative disease, and in simple terms, that the neurons in our body start degenerating.
Dr. Yesar Hussein is the director of the National Neuromuscular Research Institute.
Because the mechanism is not yet clear why the disease happened. The treatment is really not great.
Earlier this year, a news report got Jake's attention. Neuralink, one of Elon Musk's companies, had successfully installed a chip in a quadriplegic's brain, giving that patient control of a cursor on his computer.
I found myself kind of in the camp where I had nothing else left to lose.
Jake signed up for a medical trial and became the 7th Neuralink recipient in the world. Musk shared the news on his X account. The device, size of a quarter, implanted into Jake's brain using a robot.
They tell you how it's going to work, and in your mind, you can't really compute what that means, but when you sit down for the first time and are able to control this cursor, it's a feeling like something you can't describe.
Minutes after surgery, Jake moved the cursor on the screen.
You imagine your hand on a mouse moving left, up, down, right.
Using an app on his laptop.
Lay a cursor on.
Jake can surf the web, type messages, and even play with his son using a new gamepad function.
I'm actually able to hook my son's Nintendo Switch to the TV and play Mario Kart with him.
He participates in the development of this tech, working with the Neuralink team each day.
Our daily sessions are all online, so we'll spend a couple hours stress testing different models.
The device is not without its critics.
The long-term effects have not been studied since it's only been a little bit over a year since the first patients received the implants.
Camille Perez is an undergrad at Princeton University. Her recent article, published in the Princeton Medical Review, explored ethical concerns with the device and its development, which involved accusations of animal cruelty.
A lot of people are excited about the clinical trials, but when you're playing with human health, it's a little scary.
This is very early, so we don't know what happened after a few years, 5 years.
Dr. Hussein says the device will likely improve over time, and in the process, provide more independence for people like Jake and their families.
You wake up every day and you're like, I wonder what I'm not going to be able to do today. I can't play catch in the backyard with my son anymore. I can't ride a bike with my son anymore. Can't do things that most dads can do with their sons, but I'm able to do things that they can't. I'm able to play video games with my brain, and he thinks that's the coolest thing in the world.
In Austin, Eric Hendrickson, KXAN News.
The life expectancy for someone with ALS is 3 to 5 years once symptoms begin. 10% of cases are genetic, but the cause for the other 90% is unknown.
Early last year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration cited Neuralink over animal lab issues. Inspectors found problems with record keeping as well as quality controls. In 2022, the U.S. Department of Ag opened an investigation into animal welfare violations. Investigators say they didn't find any violations of its animal research rules.
So again, right, another miracle. A man, man has wings after his ALS diagnosis. I covered this girl, right, the first woman who received the Neuralink a couple of months ago earlier in the year, right? This is a character, again, that they put out there. This person came out of nowhere, created a Twitter account right around the time that the story came out that she's the first female to have a Neuralink, and every single tweet that she puts out, every single post is about the Neuralink and brain-computer interface. Because they know, let me find out about this girl. This girl's the one they're talking about in the story. They go look her up, and all she's doing is marketing. Look, I can draw on the computer with, I could do this. I can interact with my Alexa via my mind and my thoughts, right? Like that guy. I call them characters because we don't even know if these are real people, right? That guy, right? He's like, I'm playing with my mind. I'm playing Mario Kart. And everyone's like, that's wonderful, right? Playing into these people, playing video games and these pointless things with their children. So you might say that, I don't think society can accept it. Well, these are some of the comments under Elon Musk's post, okay? Dr. Santosh Pujali. This is a remarkable milestone. A minimally invasive, dura-penetrating approach with automation could significantly improve safety, scalability, and patient outcomes. Exciting to see neuroscience, robotics, and AI converge so rapidly. The clinical implications, are profound. Kara Pennington, I've been waiting for tech like this to happen mainstream since I was 4. Maybe soon my brother will be able to communicate with us, right? So she's a brother she can't communicate with. Thankfully, our hero here, Elon Musk, is rolling out this demonic technology. Here's another person. How will I be able to upgrade in the future? You're reading this correct. These are people that are so addicted to tech. They're dead serious. How will I be able to upgrade in the future if and when you release a better model? Or should I wait for a few iterations, right? He's dead serious. Another guy, real breakthrough. Congratulations. Amazing. AI is turning the brain from a biological mystery into an understandable system governed by engineering principles. Many people don't grasp what this means. Brain disorders become engineering problems with great solutions. Once that shift happens, progress doesn't inch forward. It will compound like software updates. Another guy, insane progress for people who actually need this, restoring speech, movement, independence for those who are paralyzed or have severe impairments. It is generally life-changing. Hats off to the team and patients paving the way. The mind becomes the machine. Most will watch, some will integrate, says another. All right, this is a major inflection point for brain-computer interfaces, high-volume manufacturing, plus an almost fully automated surgery and threads passing through the dura without removal dramatically reduces invasiveness, risk, and recovery time. If executed as stated by Elon, Neuralink moves from experimental neuroscience to scalable clinical reality. 2026 could mark the moment BCI shift from rarity to routine, or it could mark the beast, literally, because think about where we're headed with this, right? And it's not just the Neuralink that is going to enable some of these things. Like, I mean, it's going to be other companies like Synchron, right? They have the technology and they just slap a label on it because they know all the conservatives are going to buy Elon Musk's versions of these things. And all the liberals are going to buy Apple's version, right? Apple's already on board with their own Neuralink. I've covered this a million times. Bezos already on board. Gates already on board. Big Tech's on board. Zuckerberg on board, right? And what's something else they've talked about when we talk about miracles, creating fake miracles, right? Pretending to be false prophets and false Christ. Well, they're also curing the blind, right? Neuralink has been testing the monkey, enabling monkey to see without using its eyes, right? Neuralink's blind sight, the experimental brain-computer interface designed to restore vision in individuals with severe visual impairment, potentially even those blind from birth, by directly stimulating the visual cortex, okay? This is what we're headed towards, right? And we even have people, as I've covered, like this guy, if you want to call him people, I mean, I don't even think they're really human. Alexander Wang, right? It doesn't sound like a real name. But Alexander Wang, another one of these big tech guys, right? He's big in Silicon Valley. He's waiting for Elon Musk's Neuralink before he has kids, right? So they're putting this programming out. You don't want to have a kid in this world. Right? Well, think of all the stuff that we hear about and the stuff I've covered with genetics, right? And manipulating genetics and eugenics, right? With all these guys being involved with Epstein, and all of them have this obsession with eugenics. And we've seen now they're talking about, as I covered a couple of weeks ago, how these guys in Silicon Valley are trying to use these techniques to manipulate their babies in the womb so that they're taller, they have a certain eye color. These are all things that are going on. Like, have a baby with blue eyes, blonde hair. He could be 7 foot tall. He could be, this color skin. He could make sure, all these things to make a perfect human, right? Those are things that are already going on. And then think of where it's going to go from there. Where people like this are saying, well, you don't want to have a kid, until this is out there, because those kids they're not going to be as special or gifted as all the kids who are born and have Neuralinks inside of them, who have brain-computer interfaces. They're going to be supercomputers. The kids literally are going to be supercomputers. So this is, again, another story. Elon Musk, he's fast-tracking this. He's fast-tracking. And then, again, this isn't coming from Elon Musk. That's what you have to understand. This is DARPA. This is your government. This is your defense military contractors, okay? They have this technology. They built this technology. It's being sold to you. Because if everyone knew the government was building this stuff, the people would rise up and stop it. So the government builds it, and these companies, which are really just umbrella companies, they sell it. They get you to buy it willingly, and they use mind control and propaganda tactics like, oh, these poor people who are sick, let's get them to, let's give it to them. Yes, they get these things secure. And then for you, the regular people, maybe we can make one for you. Do you want it now that 10 years have gone by and you've heard about the miracles that these people have had in their lives? And now we've changed the software so it can make you less depressed and less tired and more energetic. And all these things. You could be who you want to be and always wanted to be. And you feel so much better. Of course, people will take it. Of course. And then they will join the collective consciousness, which is the ultimate goal. Scary world, scary time to be alive. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.